Hello students, you all are welcome to this class. Today we should discuss about the selected multiple choice questions for mechanical engineering competitive exams. Topic subject is engineering mechanics part 2. In the previous video we had discussed 25 questions of engineering mechanics. Today from question number 26 to 50. Let's start now. Question number 26. A number of forces acting at a point will be equilibrium if number of forces means two or more forces are in equilibrium if option 1 is their total sum is 0. Second one is two resolved parts in two directions at right angles are equal. Sum of resolved parts in any two perpendicular directions are both 0. All of them are including equally. Last one is none of the above. Two or more number of forces are in equilibrium if their sum of resolved parts in any two perpendicular directions are 0. That is summation of H equal to 0 and summation of V equal to 0. Then only the forces are said to be in equilibrium. Two non-collinear parallel equal forces acting in opposite direction. Non-collinear means they are not in the same line. Parallel forces, that means they are maintaining some equal distance, acting in opposite direction. This means this one. This one is the D. These are two non-collinear parallel forces. They constitute a couple. Option C is the correct. Next, according to principle of moments, if a system of coplanar forces is in equilibrium, then their algebraic sum is 0. If a system of coplanar forces is in equilibrium, then the algebraic sum of their moments about any point in their plane is 0. This one is the about the principle of moments. It is correct. It is known as principle of moments theorem or variance theorem. In coplanar forces, the forces are equilibrium, then the algebraic sum of their moments of all the forces are equal to their in their plane is equal to 0. Option B is correct. Next question number 29. Which of the following is not a vector quantity? Mass is a scalar quantity, velocity is a vector quantity, acceleration is a vector quantity, force is a vector quantity, moment is a vector quantity. Because velocity is the rate of change of displacement, acceleration is the rate of change of velocity, force is the vector quantity, moment equal to mass into velocity. So option A is a scalar quantity which is not a vector quantity. Next question. According to law of triangles of forces, three forces acting at a point will be in equilibrium. Three forces acting at a point can be represented by a triangle, each side being proportional to the force. If three forces acting upon a particle are represented in magnitude and direction by the sides of the triangle taken in order, they are in equilibrium. Option C is the correct. This is the definition of law of triangle of forces. If the three forces acting on a particle are taken, the three sides such as magnitude and direction of the triangle taken in order, then they are in equilibrium. Next question number 31. If a rigid body is in equilibrium under the action of three forces, then these forces are equal. The lines of actions of these forces meet in a point. Line of action of these forces are parallel, B and C above, none of the above. If a rigid body is in equilibrium under the action of three forces, then line of meet at a point. If the three forces are like in this way concurrent forces, then they are in equilibrium. The lines of actions in these forces are parallel. Option B is correct. Next, D'Alembert principle is used for reducing the problem of kinetics to equivalent static problem, determining stresses in the truss, stability of floating bodies, designing shape structures, solving kinematic problems. D'Alembert's principle derived from the equation F equal to ma, which is the equation of dynamics. But D'Alembert's principle gives P minus ma equal to 0, where P is the applied force. This is the equation of statics. So reducing the problem of kinetics to equivalent statics problem. So A is the correct. A heavy ladder resting on floor and against a vertical wall may not be in equilibrium. A ladder resting on floor and against a vertical wall may not be equilibrium if floor is smooth and wall is rough. If wall is rough, then some frictional resistance occurs on the wall. The floor is rough, the wall is smooth. In this case also, in floor some frictional force exists. The floor and wall both are smooth surfaces. If this condition will achieve, then the ladder will not be in equilibrium. So option C is the correct. Fourth option is floor and wall both are rough surface, will be in equilibrium under all conditions. So option C is the correct. Next one. According to Lami's theorem states that if three forces acting at a point are in equilibrium, then each force is proportional to the sine of angle between the other two forces. Here option 1, three forces acting at a point will be in equilibrium. Three forces acting at a point can be represented by a triangle, each side being proportional to the force. If three forces acting on a particle are represented in magnitude and direction by the sides of a triangle taken in order, they will be in equilibrium. If three forces acting at a point are in equilibrium, each force is proportional to the sine of angle between the other two. This is the definition of the Lami's theorem. So option D is correct. Two coplanar forces having equal and opposite moment. If two coplanar couples having equal and opposite moments balance each other, produce a couple and an unbalanced force, and are equivalent, produce a moment of couple, cannot balance each other. To balancing these two couples, one resultant couple should be balanced. So option E is the correct. A framed structure is perfect if it contains members equal to where n is the number of joints in the frame, then it contains member must be 2n minus 3. So option A is correct. Question number 37. The product of either force of couple with the arm of the couple is called product of force of couple. That means F into arm of the couple, that is D. So this is the moment of the couple. Option D is the correct. Next question number 38. In determining stresses in frames by method of sections, the frame is divided into two parts by an imaginary section drawn in such a way as not to cut more than 3 members with unknown forces of the frames, 2 members, 4 members, 3 members with known forces, 4 members with 2 known forces. Option B, 3 members with unknown forces of the frame is the correct option. Next question number 39. The center of gravity of a uniform lamina lies at center of heavy portion, the bottom surface, the midpoint of its axis, all the above, none of the above. These three are correct, so option D is the correct. Center of gravity means it is the mid position or center of heavy portion, that is the midpoint of its axis. Center of gravity of solid cone lies in the axis at a height of h by 4 from the base. 1/4 of the total height above base is the correct, 1/3 of the total height, half of the 3/8 of the. So option A is the correct answer. In case of cone, the CG lies at a distance height of h by 4, where h is the height of the cone, 1/4 of the total height above base. Next, center of percussion is the point of CG. No, center of percussion is a point of application of the resultant of all the forces tending to cause a body to rotate about a certain axis. C is the correct. Next, 42. Center of gravity of a thin hollow cone lies on the axis at a height of. In case of solid cone, CG lies at a distance of h by 4, but in case of hollow cone, it is the h by 3. So option B is the correct. The units of moment of inertia of an area. Moment of inertia means moment of moment. Moment of area means moment of area equal to area into distance, and again moment means a d square, area into distance square equal to meter square into meter square equal to meter fourth. So option B is correct. The center of percussion of a homogeneous rod of length L suspended at the top will be L by 2, L by 3, 3L by 4, 2L by 3, 3L by 8. CG of a rod, that is L by 2, and center of percussion is 2L by 3. So option D is the correct. Option D. Next, question number 45. The center of gravity of a triangle lies at a point of intersection of the medians is the center of gravity. Concurrence of the medians, intersection of altitudes, intersection of bisector of triangle angles, intersection of diagonals, all of the intersection of concurrence of meridians. Option A is the correct. Next question number 46. The units of moment of inertia of mass. Moment of inertia of mass means mass into distance square equal to, because moment of inertia is the moment of moment. Moment of mass equal to mass into length or mass into distance. Moment of mass into distance equal to mass into distance square. Mass equal to unit of mass is kg into distance square, kg meter square. So option A is the correct. Question number 47. The possible loading of various members of framed structures are compression and tension. Option A is the correct. Question number 48. A heavy string attached at two ends of some horizontal level, and when central dip is very small, approaches the following curve. So this is a parabolic curve. So option B is the correct. Question number 49. A trolley wire weighs 1.2 kg per meter length. The ends of the wire are attached to two poles 20 meter apart. If the horizontal tension is 1500 kg, find the dip in the middle of the span. It is a case of UDL, that is kg per meter length. That means omega equal to 1.2 kg per meter length. Ends of wires are attached to two poles, that is L equal to 20 meter. Horizontal direction H equal to 1500 kg. Therefore YC dip equal to omega L square by 8 H. YC equal to omega L square by 8 H equal to 1.2 into 20 square 400 by 8 into 1500 meter. Because this was kg per meter into meter square, kg meter by kg meter. 2020 cancels to 1.2 by 30. 0.4 by 5 equal to 0.04 meter equal to 4 cm. Formula is the central dip YC equal to omega L square by 8 H. From a circular plate of diameter 6 cm is cut out a circle whose diameter is a radius of the plate. Find the CG of the remainder from the center of the circular plate. This is the plate whose diameter is 6 cm and the circle is a cutout whose diameter is 3 cm. We have to determine this cutout portion's center of gravity. Let us assume section 1 as plate and cutout circle is section 2. See, this is the diameter of the plate 6 cm and the diameter of the circle is 3 cm. Let us assume this is the centroidal axis, x1 equal to 0. let us take as section 1 as plate and section 2 as cutout circle. x1 is equal to 0 and x2 lies here. x2 equal to 3 by 2. This one is the 3 cm by 2 equal to 1.5 cm. Area of the first plate equal to pi by 4 into d square. 6 square equal to 9 pi cm square, and A2 equal to pi by 4 into 3 square equal to 9 pi by 4 cm square. Now the center of gravity or centroid of this cutout section, x dash equal to a1 x1 a2 x2 by a1 minus a2. By putting the value of a1 and x1 a2 x2, we get this one as minus 0.5 cm. Y bar is on the along the axis because it is symmetrical to the x axis. So y bar equal to 0 from the central axis. So x bar is the minus 0.5 cm. This was the reference axis from leftward side. This is where here this is the centroid of this cutout section, which is 0.5 cm from the center. So option A is the correct answer. Thanks. Today's 25 questions over, and on the next video another 25 questions of engineering mechanics should be work out. I hope you should cleared. You have no doubt regarding these questions. If you are really satisfied with this video, please give a comment. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.